Welcome back. Today we're going to bring to you 35 of the most terrifying traffic stops ever caught on video, full of heart-stopping showdowns, jaw-dropping escapes, and much more. Sometimes dangerous and unpredictable things happen on our roads. Brace yourself because these real-life scenes will leave you speechless. During a routine traffic stop on a quiet suburban street, a police officer approached the driver's window, his tone firm but controlled as he requested documentation. The driver's responses were evasive, movements furtive, raising immediate red flags.
Wonderful. Do you have a driver license as well?
I am not giving you jurisdiction.
Okay.
Do not stop, do not detain. You are not allowed to stop me.
Despite repeated instructions, the driver refused to cooperate. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted as backup units rushed to the scene.
Let me see that.
On your list,
I didn't see what you just tried to show me. Can you show that to me again? Step out of this vehicle right now.
Then we're going to have an issue where
Step out of the car right now.
Step out of the car. We're going to break the window and pull you out.
In a split second, everything changed with the chilling shout of "Gun!" followed by a rapid volley of gunfire. An ordinary traffic stop, a moment's distraction. That's all it took for tragedy to unfold on the hushed Interstate 71.
The right shoulder.
Wow, dash cam footage from the Ohio State Highway.
Dash cam video showed a terrible crash. A big semi-truck smashed right into an SUV that was stopped on the side of the road. It was a loud, crushing noise as the semi hit the SUV. Police cars and ambulances came, with bright flashing lights and loud sirens wailing.
It was the moment a semi slammed into an SUV that had been stopped on the road after being pulled over. This happened late last night on I-71 in Ashland County. 7 were in.
Emergency workers rushed to the vehicles to try to get the people out who were trapped inside. 7 people had been in the SUV. 4 of them did not survive from the force of the semi hitting their vehicle. The other 3 were taken to the hospital, hurt badly. On May 1, 2023, in Fairfax County, Virginia, a routine traffic stop took a terrifying turn as captured by a police car's dashboard camera. The footage revealed a heart-stopping moment when a 17-year-old driver flew by in a BMW M3, hurtling at an astonishing 120 miles per hour in a 50 miles per hour zone. The consequences of this reckless speed were nothing short of catastrophic. The officer tries to run back to his police car, but he ends up right where the BMW hits the stopped car. The impact makes the BMW spin around again, and it barely brushes against the officer's legs, making him fall down briefly. He then jumps over the guardrail and calls for help on his radio. Luckily, only minor injuries occurred despite how serious it looked. It was a typical day for the LAPD West Valley officers on April 6th in Los Angeles. As they patrolled the streets of the San Fernando Valley, they encountered a seemingly mundane sight at a red light, a gray 2019 Lamborghini Huracan. Its driver seemingly asleep at the wheel.
What is it?
This vehicle is stolen. I need you to come out of the car. This vehicle that you're driving is stolen.
I rented this vehicle, sir.
Okay, I need you to step.
As the driver stirred awake, the officers discovered that the luxury car had been reported stolen. Additionally, the driver was wanted on multiple felony warrants. This routine traffic stop would soon spiral into a harrowing high-speed pursuit.
I need to double check and verify things, but I need you out of the vehicle. It is stolen. Hey, stop!
Shortly thereafter, the vehicle collided with the median in a catastrophic crash. The car was left in ruins, its debris scattered across the street as depicted in the dash cam footage.
1047 pursuit, stolen vehicle. It's going Venus crash, UTC. Vehicle STC on Sherman.
Amidst the hustle and bustle of a busy road, Chaos ensued as a routine day took an unexpected turn. Suddenly, a traffic light, usually a beacon of order, came crashing down to the ground, shattering the calm. The commotion disrupted the steady flow of vehicles coming and going, causing a momentary frenzy among drivers. Miraculously, the fallen traffic light narrowly missed landing on any passing vehicles, averting potential disaster. Just before 3 p.m. on Tuesday, 20th of September 2022, near the intersection of US 75 and Stacy Road in North Texas, a catastrophic event unfolded.
A fiery, deadly crash caught on camera in North Texas. Police in Allen say the semi-truck was going north on Highway 75 when it collided with another.
The semi-truck was traveling northbound on Highway 75 when it collided with another vehicle, propelling it over the overpass. As emergency responders arrived on the scene and bystanders raced to help, the gravity of the situation became painfully clear.
Flew over the overpass. The driver of the semi died. Witnesses did all they could to help.
Tragically, the driver of the semi succumbed to the impact of the collision. Luckily, the driver of the other car involved in the crash was not injured. During a routine traffic stop, a Georgia police officer engaged in a pursuit with Leonard Cure, a man who had been wrongfully imprisoned for years. The officer attempted to apprehend him after he refused to comply with instructions to place his hands behind his back.
Step out! Get out! Get out! Put your hands back here. I ain't doing it.
Despite the officer's attempts to de-escalate the situation, Cure resisted, prompting the officer to employ a taser.
Driving, nobody was hurt. How was I speeding? You passed me doing 100 miles an hour. Okay, so that's a speeding ticket, right?
Suddenly, the driver flails.
Amidst the tense scuffle, Cure's behavior intensified, leading to a critical moment where the officer, faced with a perceived threat, made a fateful decision.
Follows, and it ends when the deputy opens fire and the motorist.
Sit down!
The circumstances surrounding the use of lethal force have sparked scrutiny and concern, particularly given Cure's documented history of severe PTSD stemming from his wrongful imprisonment. On February 8th in Baltimore, chaos unfolded as a car collided with another vehicle before crashing into a building, causing it to collapse onto the street below. In the video, police officers can be seen swarming the rubble, shouting commands at the suspect to show his hands as he exits the vehicle. Amidst the chaos, first responders race against time to dig out individuals trapped beneath the debris.
684 East, the black.
During a routine traffic stop on I-84, approximately 100 miles east of Portland, a car driver, later identified as John Van Allen, 34, was pulled over by an Oregon State Police trooper for speeding.
We're speeding, but right now I need you to... Sir, get back in the car for me now. Sir, please get back in the car for me now.
Initially complying with the trooper's instructions to stop, Allen unexpectedly exited his vehicle and went totally out of control. The trooper tried to de-escalate the confrontation and told Allen to return to his vehicle, but Allen persisted in firing shots. The exchange ended with Allen's death. His lifeless body was found in his car, which had traveled half a mile down the road from the initial encounter. 3 juveniles who were passengers in the back of the car were unharmed, though surely shaken by the ordeal. Minnesota law enforcement officers conducted a routine traffic stop on the Fond du Lac Indian Reservation after spotting a young man driving without headlights, a violation that typically warrants a $200 fine. However, what ensued was far from a typical encounter.
Cops stop a young man on the Fond du Lac Indian Reservation for driving without headlights. It's about a $200 fine.
Instead of complying with the officer's instructions, the driver, displaying signs of impairment, refused to exit the vehicle or provide his license, raising suspicions of drug use.
That's the passenger's hand, reaching out the window, trying to grab the officer's loaded handgun. Luckily, the officer feels the tug before he can pull it up.
Despite the officer's efforts to peacefully resolve the situation, the driver's non-compliance escalated tensions. As two officers attempted to assist the resistant driver, a sudden stumble by one of them triggered a chaotic sequence of events.
The angry officer jerks the man out of the car and, with an assist from the other officer, wrestles him into handcuffs. Now let's rewind.
With swift and decisive action, the officers managed to subdue both the driver and the unruly passenger, uncovering further cause for concern as they discovered a knife on the driver and a BB gun and pepper spray inside the vehicle. Ultimately, the suspects were apprehended and transported to Carlton County Jail. A routine traffic stop transformed into a life-threatening ordeal for a police officer in St. Louis County, Missouri. It was a chilly Wednesday at around 2 a.m. when the incident unfolded.
And around 2 a.m. on Wednesday, when the officer noticed a car headed northbound driving more than 70 miles per hour.
I thought it was like a misread at first.
A vigilant Calverton Park police officer, armed with a handheld radar gun, noticed a vehicle racing at an alarming speed of over 70 miles per hour on a surface street. Surprised by the unusually high speed, the officer swiftly initiated a pursuit, activating his flashing lights and maneuvering to intercept the speeding vehicle.
In the video, you see the officer approach the car. The officer says he asked Kirkwood for his driver's license and insurance. He gave him one and started rumbling around for
the driver complied and pulled over, but the abrupt stop, marked by the vehicle jumping a curb, raised immediate suspicions of DUI. Approaching the driver, identified as 43-year-old Marcarios Kirkwood, the officer noticed a knife in Kirkwood's pocket. Instructing Kirkwood to keep his hands visible, tensions escalated as Kirkwood repeatedly reached for his pockets, prompting the officer to restrain him and call for backup.
I'm scared, something of that sort, but he's tensing up a whole lot. I just grabbed on, and he's gonna stumble backwards. He says,
Kirkwood now faces incarceration with a $50,000 bond, while the officer, though bruised and shaken, emerged from the ordeal with minor injuries. During a routine traffic stop, a deputy instructed the driver to exit her vehicle. Unbeknownst to the driver, the deputy's body camera recorded the troubling events that followed. While feigning a search of the vehicle, the deputy surreptitiously planted drugs inside. Throughout the interaction, he maintained a casual demeanor, even engaging in light conversation with the driver as he carried out his deceitful actions.
In your wallet?
No.
That's something different there?
No, that's the bad check.
Oh!
Despite the driver's innocence, the deputy's deceptive behavior would have ultimately led to serious consequences for her if not captured, or if his colleagues had covered this up. At a busy road intersection, a car driver brazenly disregarded the stop sign directly in front of a police officer. Despite the clear traffic regulations and the officer's presence, the driver proceeded through the intersection without coming to a halt. This blatant violation of traffic laws occurred in broad daylight, leaving the officer with no choice but to take action against the reckless behavior witnessed. Similarly, at a bustling road intersection, Cars obediently halted when the traffic light transitioned to red. However, as the signal switched to green, signaling the resumption of movement, an unexpected altercation unfolded between a civilian and an off-duty police officer.
What are you doing?
The truck he was honking at was being driven by 57-year-old off-duty Meriden Police Corporal Alan Ganter.
Thomas Braculio, impatiently waiting behind the vehicle ahead, honked in an attempt to prompt its movement. Unimpressed by Braculio's urgency, Alan Gatta, a 57-year-old off-duty cop, emerged from his vehicle, brandishing his badge as he approached Braculio. What he did next would later lead to his suspension.
Let me get your badge number. You want to get arrested? You're going to get arrested for assault on a civilian.
Ganter drove away.
Gatta was suspended for 5 days without pay and was asked to attend de-escalation training for 3 consecutive years.
His residence, the interaction on body camera.
Is he pressing charges against me? Like for breach? Yeah. Like because I yelled at him and stuff?
For assault, because you hit him.
On February 4th, 2021, this routine traffic stop in New Mexico did not end well for this officer. Footage released by the New Mexico State Police Department depicted one of their officers, Officer Darian Jarrett, being fatally shot during a traffic stop near the New Mexico-Mexico border. The perpetrator was later identified as Omar Felix Cueva. Cueva tried to escape the scene, but his escape was short-lived, as officers from various units immediately went after him. They caught up with him, and in the process, Cueva lost his life during gunfire exchange. Toledo police officers faced a contentious situation during a routine traffic stop triggered by a license plate reader. Erroneous information from a flock camera flagged a stolen license plate, but upon inspection, it didn't match the vehicle, a critical discrepancy.
Y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much. I ain't getting shit. Look at this. All I did is came to the store.
Turn around. Turn around. Face away.
Approaching with guns drawn, tension escalated as officers shouted instructions at the driver, Brandon Upchurch, to exit the truck. Amidst the chaos, the K-9 unit was called in, intensifying the situation. Despite Upchurch complying and stepping out with hands raised, the presence of the police dog heightened apprehension, creating a volatile atmosphere. The misunderstanding resulted in Upchurch's arrest on charges of resisting and obstruction, compounded by the inaccurate stolen plate information.
Put your hands behind your back.
Oh my goodness.
Put your hands behind your back. Don't you move. Move.
What did I do?
During a routine traffic stop, 2 police officers pulled over a car driven by an uncooperative individual.
Now!
This is my
Do you want to get tased?
Why are you doing this?
Because you're refusing to follow a lawful order. I need you to step out of the car.
As tensions mounted, the officers attempted to de-escalate the situation, urging the driver to cooperate peacefully. However, their appeals fell on deaf ears as the driver remained indifferent, showing no signs of compliance.
Please! Get out of the fucking car! Why are you doing this? Get out! Why are you doing this? Please stop! Help! Help!
Get out of the car!
Sensing the need to take action, the officers reluctantly resorted to using force to remove the driver from the car, a decision that would have unforeseen consequences for both officers involved.
You got him! What the?
On the 18th of December 2023, amidst what seemed like a routine traffic stop, a police officer was confronted with a deeply unsettling moment that momentarily left him perplexed. As he conducted his duties, a sudden crash shattered the tranquility of the scene, jolting him into a state of alertness and confusion.
Okay, so do you have ID or no? Oh shit!
Oh my God! Oh.
Amidst the flurry of activity, One individual emerged as needing urgent medical attention, prompting their transfer to a nearby hospital for further treatment. Meanwhile, the remaining individuals involved in the incident received on-site care from the responding medical team.
You okay? You in the car? You speeding?
New camera footage from Utah Highway Patrol depicts a harrowing moment as a distracted driver plows into a trooper's vehicle, narrowly missing a potential tragedy. According to UHP, the incident occurred on June 28, 2022, when a trooper was conducting a routine traffic stop and was struck while seated in his vehicle. The driver responsible for the collision was traveling along the shoulder of the road and became distracted, leading to the crash. Law enforcement officers in Bratenahl, Ohio, faced a harrowing situation when they pulled over Brittany Clemis Jones, 29, suspected of driving under the influence. Body and dash camera footage revealed Clemis Jones adamantly refusing officers' requests to exit her vehicle for sobriety tests. The situation escalated when Clemis Jones struck a female officer in the face with her cell phone. Amidst the chaos, law enforcement managed to apprehend Clemis Jones, revealing a stolen gun in her vehicle and her 2 children witnessing the ordeal, with charges including assault of a peace officer and endangering children. In a heart-stopping moment, captured on police body camera footage, a routine traffic stop turned chaotic when an armed suspect trapped a female Fontana officer in a dangerous headlock.
And snowed for a couple of days, and I can't come down here and stay down here because it's too damn cold.
The incident occurred on February 9th in Yucaipa during a Fontana Police Department gang operation in collaboration with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department.
Let it go! Let it go!
Initially benign, the encounter quickly escalated when the suspect's concealed firearm was discovered, putting the officers in a life-or-death struggle. As seen in the body-worn camera footage, the suspect, identified as Alan A. Metka, 56, of Fontana, posed a grave threat to the officers' safety. With swift action, the officers managed to subdue the assailant and secure his arrest. Metka faces charges of assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer. On a Wednesday night just before 8:25 p.m., a Michigan State Police trooper halted a red Kia on S 11th Street near Marion Street.
839 Charles Marion William in a red Kia Rio.
The trooper, responding to a blown brake lamp, approached the vehicle, unaware of the tumultuous turn the encounter would take. As the trooper attempted to apprehend the driver, identified as 32-year-old Joshua Ringel of South Bend, a startling confrontation ensued. Ringel, with an active warrant for assault, fiercely resisted, prompting a physical altercation. In the ensuing struggle, Ringel managed to break free and retreat to the Kia, with a female passenger alongside him. The pursuit swiftly escalated as Ringel sped away, heading south on S 11th Street, with the trooper in relentless pursuit. The chaotic scene reached a climax in South Bend, where Ringel collided with a police cruiser. Amidst the chaos, shots rang out, leading to a frantic search as law enforcement officers scoured the wooded area along the St. Joseph River. On a bustling Arkansas interstate, an Arkansas State Police trooper pulled over an SUV for speeding, setting the stage for a series of unexpected events. Approaching the vehicle, the trooper detected the unmistakable scent of alcohol emanating from the driver, raising suspicions of potential intoxication. His concerns were further validated when the driver, a female, failed the standard field sobriety tests administered by the trooper.
Driving record really good.
As the trooper attempted to confirm his suspicions using a portable breath test, the situation took a startling turn.
Big blow. What's that? It's a PBT, portable breath test. Huh? It's a portable breath test.
Mistaking the device for a weapon, the female driver became agitated and fearful, convinced that the trooper intended to harm her. Amidst her escalating panic, she found herself overwhelmed by an urgent need, leading to a surreal moment where she relieved herself on the busy interstate. However, the bizarre episode did not end there. Fueled by a mix of intoxication and distress, the driver's behavior escalated further as she lashed out in a frenzied attempt to resist arrest. In a desperate bid to evade the trooper's grasp, she resorted to biting and fighting, adding a chaotic layer to an already tumultuous encounter on the highway.
Come on, baby.
10-4, we have EMS en route.
On Route 33 in Plainfield Township, Northampton County, a routine traffic stop turned into a terrifying event.
Do me a favor, come over here. Don't place your hands behind your back.
Trooper Ryan Seipel pulled over a speeding driver, Daniel Clary, in November 2017. Clary seemed unstable during sobriety tests and resisted arrest, leading to a violent struggle. Despite efforts to subdue him, Clary fired shots at Troopers Seipel and Seth Kelly, injuring Kelly severely. Trooper Kelly miraculously survived being shot 4 times, but has no memory of the incident. Daniel Clary was, however, convicted of attempted murder for his actions and awaits sentencing. During a standard traffic stop on a Coweta highway, law enforcement officers instructed the driver to exit his vehicle, to which he complied without resistance. However, upon conducting a search, the officers made a surprising discovery. The officer discovered cash and several drug substances. On a bustling afternoon along Dickerson Pike, a tense situation unfolded as a gunman unleashed a barrage of gunfire on 3 Madison Precinct detectives around 1 p.m. Fortunately, the officers were able to swiftly respond, returning fire and successfully subduing the assailant. Subsequently, the gunman was taken into custody by the authorities, bringing an end to the harrowing ordeal.
Do not move! Move up! Move up! Move up! Watch the car! Watch the car! Watch the car!
In Taos County, a routine traffic stop took a serious turn when a driver failed to comply with orders from a New Mexico State police officer.
I'm recording. Unlock the window, sir. Sir, that's fine. We're recording also. I need you to open the window. You guys have not.
They pulled us over for not wearing a seatbelt. We are wearing a seatbelt, and they're threatening to break our window.
Despite repeated requests, the driver refused to cooperate, leading to escalating tensions.
My license or registration? You haven't asked me for my license or registration.
Don't break his arm. Do not break his arm.
Get up.
Do not hurt him.
Calm down.
The officer, met with continued non-compliance from the driver, resorted to breaking the car window to assert control. Despite this action, the driver persisted in his uncooperative behavior. Consequently, the officer had no choice but to forcefully remove the driver from the vehicle.
I have a seatbelt. Jump around. Get out of the vehicle. Step out. Step out. Ma'am, get out of the vehicle.
On a bustling day in Middleburg Heights, Ohio, an officer from the MHPD was alerted to a truck exhibiting reckless behavior dangerously close to endangering children, Responding swiftly, the officer attempted to pull over the truck, guided by reports of its erratic driving patterns.
Do you think that matters to me?
Sorry. I apologize. Very sorry.
Okay. Social security number. What's your first name?
Kenneth.
Kenneth?
Running the vehicle's plate, the officers discovered multiple warrants tied to the owner's identity, escalating the urgency of the situation. Despite initial reluctance, the suspect eventually yielded, pulling into a nearby motel. Upon arrival, the passenger hastily exited the vehicle and retreated from the unfolding scene, but was later interrogated.
What's his name?
Active warrant.
During the encounter, the driver attempted to deceive authorities by providing false identification, a ruse quickly uncovered by vigilant officers. Suspicious activity led to the discovery of drugs suspected to be heroin, concealed beneath the vehicle, and this led to his arrest.
Assume you're gonna nothing race.
What? Wait, tensing up.
I'm not tensing up.
Yeah, you are tensing
no,
up.
I'm not. You want to get tense with me? I'm not tensing. Go ahead. Get up.
While the passenger faced warrants of his own, he was subsequently released with advisement, while the driver was charged with a litany of offenses, including falsification, resisting arrest, and possession of narcotics. The bustling intersection of Julia Vargas Avenue and St. Francis Street became the backdrop for a harrowing incident, captured in a viral dashcam footage shared by a concerned motorist. In the midst of routine traffic, a white Toyota RAV4 was flagged to halt at the corner. However, instead of complying, the driver did what no one could imagine. The driver abruptly collided with the guard, causing them to tumble to the ground and tragically running over the victim before hastily fleeing the scene. In response to the severity of the incident, the owner's driver's license undergoes a 90-day preventive suspension, and their motor vehicle record is flagged, restricting any further transactions while the investigation unfolds. During a routine traffic stop, police officers pulled over and searched the car.
I wasn't aware of.
Okay, so at this stage, if you drive the car from here, you're going to be pulled over again, and you may be charged. And then we'll seize the car.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay? No worries.
Finding nothing incriminating, the driver was allowed to continue on her way. However, just when it seemed like the encounter would end uneventfully, things suddenly took a different turn.
I told you, if you score again, you're going to be placed you're under arrest.
What for?
For swearing.
Oh my God! Are you
Stop resisting! Stop resisting!
It appears the officers had already warned the driver against swearing or using curse words, but she used one again, and this led to her arrest. Meanwhile, while putting the handcuffs on her, the officers unknowingly dislocated her arm. In a routine traffic stop, Indian River County Sheriff's Deputy Christopher Lester pulled over Andrew Coffey, 52, for not having a tag on his moped.
Right here. Don't go reach into anything. Just go right on the hood. Hands right on the hood. Well, what's the problem?
Lester's dashcam captured the deputy instructing Coffey, who has a lengthy and violent criminal history, to place his hand on the hood of the patrol car multiple times after warning him not to reach for anything. Despite the warning, Coffey briefly complies, but then removes his hands, repeatedly questioning Lester.
What I'm saying, what's the problem, sir? You're gonna, you know what? Turn up.
No, I don't want a problem.
Put your hands on the hood.
After which things took a different turn. Suddenly, without warning, Coffey strikes Lester in the face. The situation intensifies as Coffey draws a revolver from his waistband and fires, hitting Lester in the leg. Despite being wounded, Lester returns fire, striking Coffey twice. Both Coffey and Lester recovered and are in good condition. Calvin Riley encounters a routine traffic stop by the Tallahassee Police Department on Southwood Road.
Riley's license is suspended, and officers decide to arrest Riley on a first offense for his suspended license.
Would you be willing to do some voluntary field sobriety exercises?
Officer Olivero decides to arrest Riley for driving under the influence, claiming to find an empty liquor bottle in Riley's car. Despite Riley's suspended license, officers proceed with the arrest without informing him of the consequences of refusing the voluntary field sobriety test.
After detaining Riley, they ask him if he smoked any marijuana.
Mr. Riley, I got a quick question for you. So I smelled marijuana in your vehicle. Did you recently smoke?
Upon detaining Riley, officers question him about marijuana usage. Officer Olivero steps out of the car briefly before returning to retrieve a sealed liquor bottle, which he empties out and tosses into the passenger seat. Despite finding no marijuana in the vehicle, officers insinuate that the empty bottle was previously concealed in a cup in Riley's center console.
The bottle was likely what was in a cup in Riley's center console.
Cover where like the knee would sit. There's an opening and he had it like tucked. And then
As officers convene to discuss the case, they discreetly inquire about the status of their body cameras. Meanwhile, Riley's arrest report falsely states the discovery of an open bottle of vodka in the car. The case proceeds to court, where Riley's fate hangs in the balance. Under the cloak of night, Officer John Nunez of the North Bergen Police Department intercepted a speeding 2022 Kia Stinger at the intersection of 61st Street and Kennedy Boulevard.
Yeah, that's what I'm stopping you for. Reckless driving, careless driving, speeding, and the light you ran, okay? You were doing at least 100 on Kennedy Boulevard. All right, man? You almost struck my car because I was making a right turn.
It was a peculiar encounter, as the occupants turned out to be a young couple embarking on their first date. Alexis Rodriguez, 27, confessed to Officer Nunez that her eagerness to return home had inadvertently spurred on their reckless driving, a sentiment shared by her companion, 24-year-old Luis Fernando Ceballos.
The reason for the years. I know. That's why I stopped him. Ma'am, that's why I stopped him. Have a nice night, okay?
In response, Officer Nunez reassured Alexis that the blame did not lie solely with her, offering words of caution to Luis before sending them on their way. 14 minutes later, tragedy would strike, sealing the fate of the young couple in a heart-wrenching turn of events.
6-1. Paramedics are needed. We're going to need a crash team, sir. Crash team, we need a crash team. That's the same car I just had. Fatal.
During a routine traffic stop, the driver was pulled over and interrogated by the police. However, as the interaction progressed, things became increasingly heated.
760.
Road approach to road above. Georgia 20 speed.
The situation escalated when the driver refused to be handcuffed, leading to a tense standoff with the police officers. Although the driver fled with the officer, his escape was short-lived.